Number 6. Affair of Aphrodite and Ares. Aphrodite was married to Hephaestus. Despite Hephaestus' best efforts, Aphrodite couldn't keep her hands off Ares. I guess even deities can't resist a bad boy with bulging biceps. And the two got down and dirty in a passionate affair. Hephaestus, often engrossed in his work, finally lifted his head from the anvil to discover his wife's fling with Ares. Talk about a hammer blow to the ego. So, he put his godly craftsmanship to work and cooked up a plan to catch those cheating bastards red-handed. He crafted a trap so sneaky, even Spider-Man would be like, damn, that's some next-level shit. It's a finely knitted, nearly invisible net made of unbreakable chains. Hephaestus set the trap over the bed where Aphrodite and Ares would meet. As the two got cozy, thinking they were alone, bam, the net snapped shut, trapping them in the world's most embarrassing position. They were tangled up like a pair of horny octopuses trying to figure out how to untangle their limbs. Hephaestus wasn't about to let this slide with a quiet confrontation. He turned their sleazy rendezvous into a full-blown roast session. He summoned the other Olympian gods to witness the shit show. The gods gathered around, laughing their butts off at the sight of Aphrodite and Ares. This public shaming was Hephaestus' way of saying, fuck you both, with an audience. Zeus, choking back laughter, eventually ordered Hephaestus to release the tangled-up lovebirds. Despite the epic humiliation, Ares and Aphrodite didn't stop their steamy affair. They just got sneakier about it, meeting up in secret like a couple of naughty teenagers. Number 5. Affair of Eos and Ares. Eos fell in love with Ares. Naturally, as any man with balls for a brain would do, Ares started ignoring Aphrodite for this new hottie. Aphrodite, being the ultimate queen of hell no, didn't take kindly to rivals. When she found out Eos was getting it on with her man, she was absolutely pissed. So, what does she do? She whips up a curse out of pure spite. Aphrodite hits Eos with an insatiable lust for young mortals, turning her into a cougar on steroids. Now, Eos couldn't look at a hot young thing without losing her goddamn mind. One minute, she's drooling over a random shepherd. The next, she's like, oh look, a blacksmith. This curse was Aphrodite's twisted way to distract Eos and keep her away from Ares. Eos was thus condemned to fall in love repeatedly, each time with a mortal who would inevitably age and die, leaving her heartbroken. Eos, in one of her many cursed love sprees, fell hard for Tithonus, a smoking hot Trojan prince. Desperate to keep him around forever, she begged Zeus to grant Tithonus immortality. Zeus, probably chuckling at the impending shit show, granted her wish. But Eos, in her love-struck haze, forgot one tiny detail. She didn't ask for eternal youth. So, Tithonus kept aging, turning into a decrepit frail mess. He got so old and withered that it was like the world's cruelest joke. Eos, feeling guilty as hell, decided to throw him a bone and turned him into a grasshopper to ease his suffering. Number 4. Affair of Adonis and Aphrodite. Aphrodite casts a lust spell on some unsuspecting princess. The poor girl ends up pregnant in a twisted love affair that turns her into a goddamn mertree. But wait, plot twist. Out pops Adonis, emerging from the bark like a hot piece of ass straight out of a fairy tale. This dude was so smoking hot that everyone who saw him was left drooling, including Aphrodite herself. The goddess of love took one look at him and was like, well, hello there. Her spell had backfired spectacularly, but she wasn't complaining. She took him under her wing like a mother, the kind of mother you would see on Pornhub. Aphrodite, worried that every god and goddess would be drooling over Adonis, decided to stash her hot new toy somewhere safe. So, she sent him to Persephone in the underworld, thinking, who the hell's gonna look for eye candy in the land of the dead? She figured Persephone could babysit while she kept Adonis away from the thirsty Olympian crowd. Persephone took one look at Adonis and immediately agreed to be his babysitter, the kind of babysitter you would see on Pornhub. So now you've got two badass goddesses, both powerful and stubborn as hell, refusing to give up their claim on Adonis. It turned into a celestial catfight for the ages. Zeus, sick of the endless drama, stepped in to lay down the law. He decided that Adonis would spend part of the year with each goddess, 1/3 of the year with Persephone in the underworld, 1/3 with Aphrodite, and the remaining third wherever the hell he wanted. But Ares, seething with jealousy, couldn't stand Aphrodite's mortal crush. So, he went full beast mode, literally transforming into a wild boar. During one of Adonis's hunts, Ares charged like a crazed lunatic and gored him, delivering a fatal wound. Despite Aphrodite's desperate attempts to save her pretty boy, Adonis died in her arms. Number 3. Affair of Callisto and Zeus. Callisto was a nymph, loyal as hell to Artemis, rocking that wilderness life with a vow of chastity. But then Zeus, the ultimate horndog, laid eyes on her and thought, Damn, I gotta have her. Knowing she'd never ditch her vow for his cheating ass, Zeus decided to get creative. So, this crafty bastard shapeshifted into Artemis herself, figuring Callisto wouldn't suspect a thing. When Callisto saw Artemis making a move, she was like, what the hell? But before she knew it, Zeus had her right where he wanted, leading to an unexpected pregnancy. It didn't take long for Callisto's baby bump to show up, blowing her cover big time. During a group bath with the other nymphs, the secret was out. Callisto's baby belly was on full display. Artemis lost her shit and was like, what the actual fuck? Callisto? Furious at the broken vow of chastity, Artemis kicked her ass out of the group. Hera, the queen of spousal grudges, found out about the affair and was pissed off at both Zeus and Callisto. With a wave of her jealous hand, Hera cursed Callisto, turning her into a freaking bear. Despite her fur coat, she kept her human consciousness, making the whole situation unbearable. Pun intended. Callisto, still stuck in her bear form, eventually popped out a son, Arcas. The kid grew up into a badass hunter, clueless about his true parentage and his mom's furry predicament. One day, while out hunting, Arcas stumbled upon the bear Callisto. Not recognizing his own mother, he was about to take her down when Zeus intervened, finally showing up to clean up his mess. To save Callisto and Arcas and to honor their tragic story, Zeus transformed them into constellations. Callisto became Ursa Major, the Great Bear, and Arcas became Ursa Minor, the Little Bear. Number 2. Affair of Lamia and Zeus. Lamia was a smoking hot queen of Libya until Zeus, that horny bastard, fell for her. Hera, green with envy, decided to unleash her inner psycho and cursed Lamia, turning her into a hideous creature, part woman, part serpent. Despite her new monstrous look, Zeus couldn't shake his feelings. The guy was hooked. He snuck off to visit her in secret, drawn to her twisted beauty and longing for the good old days when she wasn't half snake. Lust is blind as hell when it comes to this dude. Hera, pissed as all hell that Zeus still couldn't let go of Lamia, decided to crank the curse up to 11. She slapped Lamia with an insatiable hunger and permanent insomnia, driving her batshit crazy and forcing her to eat her own damn kids. Lamia's life turned into a horror show of endless sleepless nights and gut-wrenching remorse. Zeus, finally growing a conscience, couldn't stand seeing Lamia suffer anymore. With a heavy heart and probably muttering, "This is some fucked up shit," he ended her torment with a single, merciful lightning bolt. Number 1. Affair of Cassandra and Apollo. Cassandra, the drop-dead gorgeous Trojan princess, had Apollo, the god of prophecy and tunes, wrapped around her finger. Apollo, thinking he was smooth as hell, offered her the mother of all gifts, the ability to see the future. But Cassandra, smelling bullshit from a mile away, was like, "Sure, I'll take your psychic powers, but don't get any funny ideas about us being a thing." Apollo, probably thinking he was gonna get lucky, got royally ghosted by Cassandra's ice-cold rejection. Apollo, feeling royally ticked off, didn't take the rejection lightly. "Fine, keep your damn gift, but here's the kicker," he spat, adding a curse with all the finesse of a drunk wizard. "Nobody's gonna believe a word you say." It was like a bad breakup with a dash of spiteful magic. Soon, Cassandra was seeing visions left and right. She spotted Troy's impending doom, the Greeks pulling off the ultimate Trojan horse heist, and her own personal tragic ending. But when she tried to drop some truth bombs on the Trojans, they were like, "Sure, crazy lady, whatever you say." She'd be there, waving her arms like a goddamn maniac, screaming, "That horse? Total scam, you idiots." But did they listen? Nah, they just patted her on the head and sent her off to bed like a buzzkill toddler. When those Greek soldiers burst out of that wooden horse like a twisted surprise party from hell, Cassandra's "I told you so" moment was the ultimate tragicomedy. Post-Troy, she got snagged by Agamemnon, predicted their doom too. And what did he do? Ignore her ass again, that's what. He went ahead and took the express train to Deathville. Cassandra's life was like a sitcom where the punchline was always death and despair.